Hey man, I'm on the way home sitting in all this traffic. So I say, man, like I've been trying to stay away from this topic, man, right here, but I feel like I have no choice, man. I've been, giving everybody else posts and things like that attention in regards to this YSL trial, but I'm gonna go ahead and touch in on this topic, man, because I was watching the trial earlier today. October 23rd, so we could be specific, and this is I don't know how many times they don't put in, I don't know how many times the defense side has placed a mistrial motion in, but man, I think it's a good time for me to get my 2 cents on it, because at this point, I just feel like the prosecution side has put the judge back up against the wall. I may be wrong, but I think the prosecution side has put the judges back up against the wall so much to the point to where the judge has no other choice but to grant a mistrial. Each time the defense side has placed in a motion for a mistrial, she has taken up for the prosecution team, made excuses for them, and it's just been over and over and over and over and over. She denying their motion, but I just think is to the point now to where she gonna be held. She being the judge, I think it's to the point now to where the judge has to do something, because at this point the judge is going to be held accountable for that, and it's not going to look good on her record. Because if you've been keeping up with this YSL trial, you know the prosecution side has been doing nothing but making mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake, and they really desperate. That's why the trial is still going on, and they still bringing in witness after witness after witness, and each witness isn't bringing it home for them. So it's like they trying and they desperate, and they just trying to bring in anything that's going to, prove their point, and it's just not happening for them. And we all know the more people that you get involved in your situation, the more of a chance that it's going to go wrong for you. So I say that to say, if the prosecution side really had a case, all they would have had to do was just bring in a couple key good witnesses. You know what I mean? With some strong evidence to back it up. But instead, they decided to take the approach where they just gonna bombard the jury with a whole lot of witnesses and a whole lot of unimportant evidence, and just try to stack that up to make it seem like a whole lot, which is that's just not happening. So I say that to say, man, I just feel like, with all the dirty tricks that Miss Love has tried, and it just hasn't been Miss Love, but she's been the one that's been trying her dirty tactics and dirty tricks the most, and she's the lead DA over there. So to me, she's the leader, and we all know your comrades follow the leader. And I just feel like there's nowhere to go but to a mistrial this time. I just feel like the judge gonna get in trouble now if she don't grant a mistrial. And the defense did a very good job. The defense did a very good job of their argument today, where pretty much left the judge no other option but to grant a mistrial. And I really think she gonna grant a mistrial this time. I could be wrong, but we'll know tomorrow for sure, probably. But I just think, man, her back is up against the wall, and it's so obvious now that if she don't grant a mistrial, that she's biased. And I think the most important thing she do know is that she gonna start hearing that word recusal. She don't want to get recused off this case. She don't want to get recused. She'll be the second judge that has gotten recused off this case. I don't think she want to go down that road because it's gonna make her look very bad after seeing what Judge Glanfield tried, and then after her having time after time after time to grant a mistrial, and she's found every excuse not to do it. And I kind of feel sorry for her because, bro, that DA side, bro, they don't know what they doing, man. They don't know what they doing, and by her trying to help them over and over again and take up for them over and over again, it has put her in a bad situation. It has put her back up against the wall to where now she's gonna get in trouble. She's gonna get in trouble. But it's also her fault because she should have put her foot down a long time ago when DA Love kept coming in there unprepared, trying to sneak his stuff, trying to bring in evidence at the last minute, and that she called it out herself that day. Just trying to case as she move along, trying to case as she go along. Really don't have a case, but just trying to as she go along. And it's her fault because she should have nipped all this in the bud weeks and months ago. She should have nipped all this in the bud weeks and months ago. Now you see the DA prosecution side, they trying different tactics now. Now they letting, I don't know the other two white guys' names, but now you see, the last couple weeks, the two white guys, they've been the main ones, bringing in evidence, doing the examination with the witnesses, and things like that, because I think they realized that DA side, I think they realized that Miss Love, she was losing that case for them. So their best chance of winning anything was to let somebody else try that. Let somebody else try their luck. Hoops that they was willing to jump through, all the hurdles they was willing to jump over to win this case. Bruh, they got to feel stupid, bro. They got to feel stupid, and it's karma, because look who was on the stand. Look who was on the stand today doing the cross when this last mistake was made. It was D.A. Hilton, and we all know D.A. Hilton and D.A. Love is connected. They the two closest ones, I don't know their relationship, outside the courtroom, but inside that courtroom, we know them two go hand in hand. We know them two go hand in hand. So it's karma that it happened when, one of them two was at the podium doing the questioning. And it just goes to show you, man, like the judge said today. She kept saying, she said about 2 or 3 times, I'm trying to fix y'all sloppiness. And like I've been saying this whole time, the judge trying to fix their sloppiness has put that judge in a position to where she's doing the wrong thing, to where she's in danger of, I don't know the word for it, but she's in danger of getting herself recused off this case, because we could all see it, man. This judge was going down the road of being biased, man. It was no way that you can keep letting these mistrial motions, these legitimate mistrial motions come up, and every single time you come up with an excuse to deny they mistrial. And most of the time the judge was using the excuse as, I don't think they did this on purpose. I think it was a legitimate mistake. Bro, that's not nobody's fault. That ain't the defense fault, whether they tried to do it on purpose or not. Especially when them boys been sitting in jail over 2 years. Come on, man. That's not an excuse. They didn't do it on purpose, or they really think it was a mistake, or bro, that's not an excuse. The court is the court system, bro. They are professionals. They should know how to do their job. Especially when they trying all the dirty taxes and dirty tricks, you know what I mean, that they've been trying to pull this whole case. You shouldn't give them no sympathy, no leeway. You should make sure at the least they doing everything that they supposed to do. You should make sure that they ain't making no mistakes. Come on, man. This is the position that DA office put themselves in. From Fannie Willis to DA Hilton to DA Love, man, you should have been holding their feet up against the fire, man. So, but like I say, it's very funny when the last straw, DA Hilton was on that stand. DA Hilton was on that stand. The last straw, DA Hilton was on that stand, and she was the one that made the mistake. They can't blame her, but you know, that's gonna be the last thought in their mind when it comes to who fucked it up. DA Hilton was the last person to make the last mistake. And I knew they had him. When I knew they had him, when the judge asked the lawyer, she say, not the exact word she used, but in so many words, she say, what type of mistrial motion do you want? And the lawyers said something like mistrial with prejudice, and the judge gave her response to why she gonna deny for mistrial with prejudice. But she came right back and said, in so other words, she said, do you want it any other way? And that's when I knew. I say, that judge know that they do for a mistrial, and that judge know if she don't grant a mistrial now, that she gonna get in trouble. And I don't think that judge is willing to put her career on the line for that sloppy DA side. She not willing to do that. So I think, like I say, man, I just think the DA side put the judge back up against the wall to where the judge, she had no choice this time but to grant them a mistrial. And that's why she not making a decision today. She gonna hold court tomorrow, and I don't think they gonna have court in the morning like they usually have. They gonna come in the afternoon. They gonna come in the afternoon. So it's finna either be some sweet deals handed out, or they gonna have to grant a mistrial with prejudice, man. They just gonna have to. They just gonna have to. And see, I think my last point, I think the judge was looking at it like, okay, I'm gonna help them out this time, in hopes to where the DA side wasn't gonna keep making mistakes to where, you know, that will get them a mistrial done. I think that's why the judge took off for them the times that she did, because the judge just didn't think the DA side was just gonna keep making the mistakes that they was making time after time after time after time. But I think today the judge just came to the conclusion that there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do. I just can't help y'all no more. Y'all just don't know what y'all doing. It just is what it is. So, man, let's hope the best for them boys, bro. Them boys done been railroaded long enough. Them boys done been railroaded long enough. I'm not saying them boys is, it's perfect. I'm not saying they angels. But in this case, we all know them boys been done dirty. Them boys should have been let go. That's just what it is, man. I'll come to you with my opinion on something else. I might check in about this story tomorrow once we get other updates, but I don't know, man. I might not. But I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. I'll let y'all later.